I mean,
Yeah.
you play sports to win the game. You
That's
don't
it.
play to participate.
Play to win the game.
Yeah, you play to win the game.
All right, welcome into this is Hashmark Radio Channel 2, and this is Hashmark Fantasy Talk Episode 5 right here on Hashmark Sports. We are powered by John's Architectural Metal Solutions, Inc., and you can check them out at jamsoul.com, as well as Michigan, their Fire. And then today, we always have a special sponsor. Today is Bascio Gelato, and this is by Sherbinsky's. They got some smalls, good stuff here, as well as Bet Us. Go to hashmarksports.com, and you can sign up for a $150 bonus at hashmarksports.com, and that'll get you, again, a link to Bet Us if you're going to be betting or gambling this season. Before we go into our first segment, which is a collection of items here in the center. Now, for all of you on Twitter, you're not going to be able to see these, but I am here with Duke. Duke is here. Duke, good morning. How was Labor Day?
It was really good, man. Just a chill, relaxing, laid-back day for me. How about you?
What did you do on the weekend? So Friday you started on Region Spotlight, which is a new show on Hashmark Sports and the network where you guys go to high schools and talk to some of the star players.
Yes.
So you were talking to Friday, which is not out yet, but you were talking to Crown Point. Who did you talk to?
Larry Elson, the running back for Crown Point.
And the Crown Point played Maryville.
Yes.
And Maryville, they didn't do so well.
No.
What happened in that game?
Crown Point was just very quick off the ball.
Okay.
Their offense executed. When they came out of the huddle, you could tell they were ready to snap the ball. They were throwing Maryville completely off guard. It was an outcoached matchup, I believe.
Wow. And that is regional. So for anybody who's listening, who's outside of the Northwest Indiana territory, it may not matter to you, as we're trying something new here local to grow our local market. But again, we will always be talking about, fantasy football and sports and all that stuff here. So, first and foremost out the gate, we always want to talk about cross shows. We got the Hashmark show, which is the official NFL gambling podcast, which it's going to be on this Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to try and go live on YouTube, but at the very least, it'll be live on Twitter X, hopefully. I don't know how the hell I'm going to even do that yet with everybody spread out, but if not, it'll be out right away. And then we also got Dugout Dialogue with Jessica Welch, which is now solo. And we've got an opportunity here with Duke here. Duke, what happened? And you don't have to answer because I know you're on the spot here.
Right.
We're on the network. But what happened? You and Alec were on the show with Jessica. And then she just went off. I don't know, but I know you guys were doing Region Spotlight. But
yeah.
I didn't tell her.
Basically what I was trying to do is I'm trying to grow. I feel like my brand will grow more as I develop into interests that are going to attract more viewership and attention. So HFT, Region Spotlight, and more to come possibly for me on this channel, which I'm looking to grow my name in the future. So
I love it. And listen, baseball to me is tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's
it
tough
is.
one to pull.
Right. Yeah, it is.
And I'm not saying that you can't do baseball, but like when people are remote, it gets difficult. But I think I didn't do a good enough job telling everybody about, some of the stuff that we were doing or changing. And then Alec obviously is Alec, which we're going to go right into Alec. Alec's supposed to be on the show. I'm not calling him. Actually, I don't know if we want him on the show. He's not a champion. Has he won a championship in any league yet?
Yeah, I think he's won in the past, but it's been before we all start playing together.
Okay, so maybe he can be on the show. But what happened to Alec this week? He's not even here in the office. What happened?
Sun poisoning.
He got sun poisoning. Where the hell was he?
He was at a river like by Mishawaka, I guess.
He's probably the palest fucking guy I've ever met in my life. He's so pale. And Alec in general, I love the guy. I love the kid.
I do too.
But what was he thinking not using sunscreen?
I have no idea. I personally wouldn't want to do those things myself.
Did you go on the river trip with him or no?
No, I did not.
Okay. He was either way, you got to use sunscreen and you got to SPF up. I don't know what SPF you're using. Do you care about the number? I don't even really know
No,
if I
I've
care.
never really looked into the number
Either
myself.
have I. SPF 30, SPF 50. Where does it go from there? I mean, there's SPF 70 and 80. What if I'm just looking for a tan? Some people be like, oh, well, then you need to do the bronzers. And I just don't. I don't care about, I guess, how tan I am. I tan easy though. Do you tan easy? Or
Yeah,
no?
my arms, I feel like I just burn really on my face.
Okay, so you burn on the face, yeah.
Yeah.
You put stuff on before you go out, right? To like a lake or pool or anything.
Yeah, so I try
Yeah.
to spread it around. Yeah.
Good. All right, so Alec's not with us today. Sun poisoning, and then we have a guest spotlight as well. We have a fly somewhere in here taking the spot of Ace.
Yep.
So that's our animal tape. All right, real quick, those of you who are not watching, we are doing a new segment, new bit here before we get into fantasy football. We had our draft this weekend, so you can pretty much imagine how this episode is going to go. We're going to talk about some of the week one previews here coming up.
Yep.
We're also going to spotlight our draft, but what we're going to do is kind of put it in a category of what round these guys went, why we chose who we went, and I'll tell you right now, Duke and I have not talked to each other yet. So this is exciting, and we play each other in week one, which I did not know about. So from there, let's go right to the draft. And I think I know the answer. But what was the philosophy with the noon draft on Saturday? Is it because you guys are just younger and you really never really thought about it, or was it because I know for the older folks it was a problem, but not really?
No, it was just based off of like when everyone could do it.
Okay, got it. And that makes sense. So a lot of folks in this league, are they all in their 20s?
There's some that are older, some that are younger. It's a mixture between.
Do you plan on taking this league? And for those of you who are listening again, this is the first time that Duke and I have been in a league together. I haven't played fantasy football in 6 years. Duke's been playing for now the past 3-4 years, right? Or
2 or 3.
2 or 3. He's got a title already. I got 2 titles. Wearing the rings. You can only be on this show if you've won a championship. And it doesn't matter if you had 4 teams, 2 teams, you got a title, you can be on the show. So let's talk about our draft. First and foremost, what was the biggest surprise that you saw coming out of week one in our draft?
I was surprised on that Eckler fell to the second round.
Okay.
I thought somebody was going to take him in the first round, but my philosophy was to get all skill-based players early. So my thinnest position probably is running back, looking at my draft recap. But, I felt to the quarterback I wanted to get. I felt very strong about my QB choice. And knowing some of the people in the skill position players' assets, I picked all the ones that I had on my board.
Who did you get at quarterback? Why don't you go through your team real quick, and if you have it pulled up, and just tell everybody who you got.
I have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins at running back, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, which was my first pick in the first round, Deebo Samuel at flex, the Steelers defense, and Justin Tucker for the Ravens at kicker.
Yeah, it's a great kicker. You got the number one kicker pretty much. You've got
number one tight end.
Which you went for in the first round. And I was drafting last, so I had that back-to-back 10-11, which I was excited about. I love that position. Not gonna lie, I didn't see Eckler there at 10. I might have been blindsided, but
you did choose the rookie over him.
I went all out with everything. I felt like I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. I got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. I went to the tight end with Waller. I put Justin Fields, who I said I really liked, in there. Yeah. I got everybody pretty much that I wanted, except I really wanted to. Oh, and I want your opinion on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ezekiel Elliott. I was getting nervous, because I thought you were going to take him. And round 11, I think it was pick 70 overall. Pick 70 overall. I got Ezekiel Elliott at pick 70, 70th overall. What are your thoughts on Ezekiel Elliott? I wanted to come back around and do James Jones or James White. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he's going to have a split backfield. Ramondre Stevenson's still there with the Patriots. He's probably going to be the RB1. So Zeke's definitely going to get a fair amount of touches. It just depends on what Josh McDaniels uses him in, or not. Sorry, my bad. Not Josh McDaniels, but Bill O'Brien to see what he puts him in for this season. It's a different philosophy. He's coming from a Cowboys team where he was the number one back to being the guy who's going to probably be the RB2 going into this year.
Yeah, and for my thought on a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, I was like, okay, look, long term, deep in the season, here's a guy that might have to fully take all the snaps, maybe, and there could be a big game for their flex position.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really did was I kind of went like fully. I mixed it in full old school with Alvin Kamara, fully knowing the suspension, but I feel like there's value there.
There is.
Big value with
Yes.
Alvin Kamara on my football team. So I think with the rookies and playing out the way it did with Waller at tight end and being able to get the 49ers defense, I was satisfied. I was satisfied with that. Pulled the trigger a little bit earlier than I thought. I think I went round
You did
9.
take the defense that I was looking at.
Okay, so that was good. So, but I knew I had to go round 9 on that because it was not gonna come back around.
No.
I knew that, and then I was like leaving. I had to go somewhere, and I auto drafted, but I wanted to make. I didn't auto draft. I auto drafted like the last couple picks, but I wanted to make sure I got those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was excited. Mark Andrews was gone. I was targeting him, but I felt like this is a year, at least with Mark Andrews, and I didn't want to say this till after the draft with Odell Beckham there, Zay Jones, and that's his name, right? Zay Jones, or who is that guy? Yeah, I felt I didn't want I noticed you went pretty heavy with the Eagles.
The Eagles defense and DeAndre Swift, yeah.
And did you go with AJ Brown?
I did.
And Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
And he's still with Philadelphia.
No, he's a Panther.
He's a Panther. I do apologize for that. That's why you're here. And so that's a good fit for them. I like him in Carolina.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, I don't like the Eagles. And we'll go back and forth on that. And I think Justin Fields is a better quarterback. That's neither here nor there. So I was really excited about the Ezekiel Elliott thing. Okay, go back to some other players here. Oh, wait, no, we're still talking about the draft.
Yeah.
What else surprised you about our draft? Anything or no?
I was surprised that Mahomes went in round 1.
I was going to do that. You know what I was
Were
going to do? If available, I was going to do Mahomes and Travis Kelce right out 10 and 11. Or the pick round 1.
If they would have fell there.
If they would have fell there, but Kelce went what, 8th? You took him at 8th?
I took him at 3rd.
At 3rd. Jesus, I feel like that's fucking aggressive, but I love it. He's a fucking animal.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna get the most points production as far as superstars. That's one of the most productive superstar fantasy players there is.
What happened with Mahomes after that? Where did he go? He went 8th, 7th, 8th. Yeah, and then when they were off the board, I kind of knew, okay, screw it. I was off of the quarterbacks after that. I was like, I can't. Again, 10-team standard for those of you who don't know what league we're talking about. But in general, I thought it went pretty well. I didn't. Yeah. I will say this. I don't know who my kicker is right now. I haven't looked. That was like the first time I ever did not address that position correctly. Who's my kicker? Do we know?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
Okay. I haven't even gotten in the freaking app yet. I can't even get my password, which is fucked.
Really?
But the desktop works fine. The laptop works great. The thing that surprised me the most was how guys like the Bijan Robinsons of the world and the Gibbs were passed up. I felt one of these guys is going to have a great year just because they're fresh, they're rookies, not really like a Devin Hester situation, right, where he's returning, kickoffs left and right. But it makes sense. And what was I going to do, right? I was going to pass those guys up and take an older guy. I had to go with it.
It was a surprise that he took rookies right out the gate.
Are you surprised about my team? And do you think I can go on a run?
I mean, there's a lot of teams in the league that are going to be competing.
I want you to grade my squad. Is it an F? It's got to be an F.
No, I mean,
okay.
It's definitely, I've seen, believe it or not, in my time, I have seen worse lineups being put together.
Sure.
I'm going to keep it 100 always, but that's.
What do you think about the Odell Beckham? Did I pick him up? I don't even think I did.
I don't think you did. No.
Okay, good. I thought, and by the way, on the way into work today, I thought I saw Antonio Brown driving a Sierra Chevy truck, but it wasn't him, but it looked so fucking close to him.
Did it?
Okay, so fantasy football draft talk is over. I play you this week. Looking forward to it. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. You too.
And let's talk about week 1 now. What are some of the things that folks should be looking at when it comes to week 1? Again, we talked about this in the first episode, but I want to go a little bit deeper here. What are some of the things folks should be looking at heading into week 1? We've got Kansas City and Detroit Lions on Thursday night.
Yep.
Make sure the lineups are freaking set, you morons, on Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What else should people be looking out for this week? Anything? What players we got?
I mean, when it comes to this week's matchup with the Lions and Chiefs, I'm expecting it to be like a 2018 Goff Mahomes part 2, where it was a shootout the first time that they played each other. A lot of points are going to be put up on the board, but it is at Arrowhead. And the fans are always going to be rowdy, ready to go. They're coming off a Super Bowl championship. They're looking to make another run. But the Lions are the team to look after this year, because this could be the year they win the division, win a playoff game possibly, and go deep. Players run through a wall for Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lions are always going to be motivated no matter who they play. I don't think they're afraid of the spotlight anymore.
Players, coach, yeah, I think they went through that whole thing already, right? They said, this is who we are. We're growing, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And I think what we're going to see in that game is a high-scoring game.
Yep.
I think the over is going to hit, and I had plus 7.5 in my bag. Real quick, shout out to my bookie. No offense. They switched fucking the boards right on me, so it's at another website now, right? So it's a better layout.
Yes, it is.
Love the new layout, but they fucking put my bet in at Lions plus 6.5 instead of plus 7.5.
Really?
So I called the bookie. I said, yo, get this shit out of here. And long story boring. He's like, yeah, we can cancel it. I go, I ain't need the fucking juice. I go, give me the fucking 7.5. He's like, I got a bet. So now the bet's still in there. Lions plus 6.5. I'm like, dude, take this shit out. So I don't know. Last night was wild though. Clemson, Duke. I fell for the trap.
Did you?
Fell for the trap. I should have called you first. I'm calling you next time.
Are you?
I had Clemson minus 12.5.
That was probably the upset of week 1, probably.
Well, why? Just because Dabo here's how I went into this real quick. We got to talk about this. I know it's fantasy football show.
No, you're good.
Duke, Clemson, fucking Dabo Sweeney, all the returning players, the wide receiver. I never thought like a week 1 would be flat, or I think now we might be seeing some of the spillover. But Duke is just a good fucking football team. They're coached well, smart players, plenty of safeties there going to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
And what the fuck was I doing?
I just think, I mean, when it comes to the top 10 of the AP poll for college football, you have Dabo Sweeney, who's at the bottom of it. I think his time might be running out as far as being at the top tier college football coach. You have the guys like Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh. Coaches like that are going to be up there for a long time. Dabo just doesn't have enough to compete for a playoff spot right now.
Even with the running back coming back, and look, I know Clemson fumbled the ball going in for a touchdown. Duke made their whatever, but 12.5, something freaked me out about that number. I was like, okay, if it's Clemson really coming out the gate, not the old Clemson, but I still like the quarterback. Okay. What was his name? Quirky? Some shirky fucking guy. I'm done with that. Anyways.
I have no idea.
Fuck me. Let's talk real quick here. Highlight Spotlight brought to you in part by Michigander Fire. Heading out, need something to get you higher. Check it out, Michigander Fire. They are a local homegrown. We say local homegrown. We're talking less than 20 people are going to touch your pot. And that's not even guaranteed. I mean, 5 people may touch your pot. And if you're going anywhere ever looking for just like something that's rolled up, I mean, most of it's shake. No, these guys are rolling the right stuff. And they're actually rolling flour. Okay. So if you need more power, check them out. Grab their flour, Michigander Fire. Also, not brought to you in part by, but today we have special guest Sherbinsky's. This is the Baccio Gelato. And we're doing a new segment here. Anything we find in the studio from over the weekend, we talk and make fun of. What do we have here, Duke? This is the first thing we found. Now, this might be yours. I don't know. Who's this?
That ain't mine.
Okay, so what do we got here, Duke? Let's explain this.
I have no idea.
You got to touch it and feel it. What is it?
Looks like a nail kit of some sort.
This is a fucking nail clipper kit. It looks like it's from the Dollar Tree. You got to go to our YouTube page to check this out on the video. But we found this here. This is like a kill kit. We got an empty bottle of Smirnoff Ice. Look at that thing.
Probably from the Colombians.
The fucking Colombians. I love them, but they work for John's Architectural Metal. They're part of our crew. We're all together. And the Studio B here has, I don't think they sleep here anymore. And I don't even know if I can air that. I'm probably going to be fired after this, but they definitely don't sleep here anymore. That was a joke. This is a Smirnoff Ice bottle brought to you part by Smirnoff Ice, and then a cap and a bottle cap. What the hell? Look at this. And you know what else they found? They took down the green thing that I had on the front door, on our studio door here. It was just like the green wreath.
I didn't even notice that.
It's on the ground.
What?
Fuck you. Stay out of my office. We need a fucking we need a lock in
passcode
here.
door.
Back to HFT, Hashmark Fantasy Spotlight here. Excuse me, Hashmark Fantasy Talk here on Hashmark Radio Channel 12, brought to you in part by John's Architectural Metal Solutions, Inc. You can check them out at jamsol.com, specializing in aluminum composite panels, corrugated metal, and flat panels, and really any color you could imagine. Unfastened and fastened, they install, fabricate, and accessorize all in one. They are the only provider in the United States who can do all in one. Reach out to them at jamsol.com. All right, back into fantasy football. We talked about some of the other big games. What other games are you looking at this week that could have a lot of fantasy implication? Obviously, we've got the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
No coincidence there. What are your thoughts on that? 9-11, two New York teams playing.
This is going to be the coming out of the Aaron Rodgers party in New York.
Wow. You think he's been waiting for this game?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you think about the NFL putting two teams, though, from New York on Monday Night Football, 9/11? Like, they're trying to send a message, right? That is
I don't really
what
think
is
it's. I don't really think it's much of a coincidence.
Okay.
I think it's just a high-powered matchup.
Okay.
You have Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers.
Got it.
The Bills versus the Jets. Two teams that are competing for the AFC East.
Got it. So we've got circus here with Aaron Rodgers,
Yep.
Josh Allen going at it. Jets, Bills on Monday night. This is a scripted game for me. I already know who's going to win. Jets win this game, and it could. Two things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And just hang on here, folks. This is the script this week, and you guys are going to get this on the Hashmark show this week. Trust me. I think they want Aaron Rodgers to be either humiliated because he went into the hole for 10 days. He's been calling corporate entities out. I'm going to fuck you up, by the way, with this shit, Duke. You're going to be like, no, this is crazy.
Okay.
But I think they want to get Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to humiliate him. I don't think he's going to get the calls. If it goes the other way, I'm not playing both sides. I'm just saying the way it works is Aaron Rodgers looks like a freaking superstar. But does the NFL like Josh Allen? I feel like these guys have been fucking choking every year.
Josh Allen, when it comes to the big moments, has not lived up to the name.
Man,
we have all seen that. But as far as this game is concerned, you have two high-powered offenses, but the Jets are also expected to have a really great defense this year, which I do believe they can be a top 5 defense overall.
I agree with that.
I mean, Sauce Gardner's coming off Defensive Rookie of the Year, first team All-Pro season, his first year playing cornerback in the National Football League.
That's a Pro Bowler.
I think he's going to make it again, and I think he's going to make himself still the number 1 corner in the league just because of his ability to play all over the field.
Speaking of corners, you see that play Colorado had against TCU?
Travis Hunter is probably, if not the best college football player in the country. That's my thoughts on that. Heisman frontrunner, it has to be him.
A player who obviously an athlete, athletic as hell. That play was coached so well. If you have not seen that interception, the interception was great, but the way it was coached with 2 slants going, I think, on the inside for both linebackers to glance, see the inside slant, knowing there's a running back coming out of the backfield. You got to be able to pick that guy up. Actually, fucking TCU ran the same play, the other way, Colorado ran the same play the other way and got TCU on it. The running back out of the backfield, he was wide open. That's the difference with Dion, is the coaching. And to make sure that you see 2 guys doing a slant, well, the corner knows I'm going to rub him off. He's going to the linebacker or safety. Safety knows I'm going to linebacker. And then what's the corner do? The corner better get the running back. And he did, and he picked it. What a play.
Yeah, Deion Sanders coming to this program, completely turning around the Colorado football program. There is a few people in this world that you don't bet against.
I love that. That's
and Deion, you do not bet against.
Well,
he can make a program.
I make it all good,
really good.
I make anything look good, right?
He does.
Dookie boy, hold on, Dookie. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my Deion.
No, you're good. You're good. Everything he touches turns into gold. His son threw 500 passing yards.
How about the running back?
Yeah, I mean, everywhere you could tell, like he has that impact to turn around a program that won 1 game last year.
I thought there were a bunch of speeches that were on social media after the game, and then but I thought the one that had more impact was the halftime one where he said, "Look, we made a couple mistakes. We're here. Go get them now, put it away. And it was still a high scoring game, and they battled. They fought back, and they had to win this one.
Yeah.
But when they were like, the team was like saying, "We're already here," and he didn't have to finish it. I mean, that you can just see him literally through all of them. And again, it's TCU. I get it, but
National runner-up.
they had to win the game, and they won the game.
Yeah.
That's it. So whatever. I mean, and listen, they should have had 2 deep balls easily. They should have not.
If Travis Hunter would have caught those 2 deep passes, he probably would have already been a very high front runner for the Heisman Trophy.
And I think Deion said that. And how funny was it with Deion Sanders walking off the field? If you guys haven't seen it, I don't know if he even knew he still had his fucking headset on. Deion Sanders was walking to the middle of the field, going to have a conversation with the coach or the other, the opposing coach, TCU, and he had his fucking headset on, and he's like, it was pretty cool to see. So
I like how Colorado did the L for leaders and the D for dogs instead of putting captains, because it just separates like who each of those captains represent in them.
It's a great point.
Yeah. And Travis Hunter is a dog. He has the letter D on his uniform for a reason.
I didn't realize that, and I didn't know they had that on there for that reason. Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting. I took a lot of the prime techniques into coaching. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I took all these into coaching 4 and 5-year-olds last year. And what I would do is I literally was walking around the field like Dion would. And I was meeting all the parents and, letting everybody know we were here, saying hi to the coach. And when we were talking to my assistant coach this year about the 6 and 7-year-olds and the team we were kind of putting together, like, do you really think we're just going to go out there and like win game 1? And I was just like, I was disgusted. I was like, listen, I don't got any other way of thinking. We are winning this fucking league. And you think I'm worried about week 1, baby? We going to score like 9 goals, so that's just how it's done. You got it. The coaches, the players, what do they say? The players reflect their coach or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to make sure.
Yeah, because if you don't have that impact on your players, they're not going to believe in what you believe in.
Yeah.
I mean, you play sports to win the game. You don't play to participate.
Play to win the game.
Yeah, you play to win the game.
Practice.
Yep.
All right, back to fantasy football talk. That's enough of college. Looking at week 1, very important. Stupid is simple, right? Make sure you start your players. Make sure you know who's playing, who's not. Make sure the injury front is there, and you're set and ready to go. I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to roll with it again. Taking a look at my team real quick, if you're just joining us, at quarterback, Justin Fields. At running back, Bijan what was it again? Bijan Robinson, Jamar Gibbs. At receiver, Stephon Diggs, and Brandon Ayuk, a guy who, again, I heard his name a lot last year with touchdowns, red zone target, slot side. So love him. Tight end, Darren Waller. Defense, San Francisco 49ers. Now, if you're wondering, it's a 10-team league standard, right? We're not, everybody knows, a lot of people give us shit, but fuck you and fuck them, because we're in a 10-team standard. What was Alec bitching about? You guys were going from 8 to 10, right? You guys were in an 8-team. There's nothing wrong with that. My first title was in an 8-team league.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. No.
Actually, I got one of the owners is listening right now to the show, Chris Ireland, and he's playing fantasy this year in another league. He's been on our staff. He's part of both these, this title run right here, and he ran GM for us, and he's a good player, good owner, and he understands what it means. So going down the list, we're talking about quarterback. What do you think was the highest value quarterback that was drafted the latest in the later rounds? For me, I didn't really pay too close attention, but I noticed that Burrow dropped a little bit. What was that about? Do you know?
It's probably the little injury he had, but he's probably going to play week 1. I'm not too concerned about it.
That's got to be bluff news.
Yeah.
You like the Bengals this year?
Yes, I do.
From a fantasy perspective?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
This the overall team, fantasy perspective. I mean, they have a chance to be the number 1 seed if Kansas City does fall. And if there is a team that can overtake them, it is the Bengals.
How many leagues for an owner like yourself is too many leagues? Or is there no such thing? And
I have a buddy that's in 5.
How do you put value? And by the way, I owe you $50. We'll pay you live right here. 55 actually.
Yeah.
Now it's interest. Well, now we're at 60. I think we're at 60. Yeah, I'm late payment. And by the way, what the fuck are the kids using these days? Cash App, Venmo?
Cash App, yep.
So I know Zelle connects to any bank account. I get that. But Cash App, they want the Cash App?
Yeah.
Do you do Apple Cash? You don't have Apple phone. You got an Apple phone, right?
No, I'm getting that later in the year.
Jesus Christ. Okay. What was my last question? We're gonna wrap up here. Final thoughts.
The matchup of the week.
Oh yeah, what is it? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's the 49ers Steelers.
All right. So what do you like in that? Let's go ahead and let's recap that game from a fantasy perspective, and then we'll go ahead and make our picks.
We have the 49ers that are in this year a Super Bowl or bust type of season.
Yeah.
We have the Steelers who have a very good young team all around, offense and defense. Their young secondary player, Joey Porter Jr. You had PJ Watt, Cameron Hayward, who's a veteran who's been on that defense for many years. And you had the 49ers who have playmakers all around and are favored to win the NFC along with the Philadelphia Eagles. This year, if the Niners do not perform and make the Super Bowl, they might dismantle the team.
Yeah.
Because they've been at it for a while. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have been on a very long leash, have had many chances. I just don't think that it's a Super Bowl or bust season for them.
It's the same thing with Buffalo. I mean,
Yes,
it's like,
it is
what
with
the
Buffalo.
fuck? Get it, figure it out. I don't think they should have ever taken Jimmy G out.
No.
Ever. He should have been starting from day one.
He still should be a 49er. Because
stupid.
Why would Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm gonna get into this real quick.
Go ahead.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner, regardless if he hasn't won a Super Bowl as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
He has won as a backup under Tom Brady.
Yep.
He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 NFC Championship games. Count 3 if you count last year him being on the roster. He didn't know he didn't play, but he was a big contributor to that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the 49ers are a little bit of a myth to me in general because I don't know how the hell they haven't put something together here.
Yeah, I mean, they should have at least 1 or 2 rings in their resume already.
That's how hard it is to win.
It is.
In the NFL.
Very hard.
Very hard. Okay. Final thoughts going into week 1. For me, I'm just going to pay Duke. That's my final thoughts. 20, 40, and I'm going to give you 60 because I made you wait.
All right. Appreciate that.
He lent me $50. What was that for? Do you remember?
No, he just said you needed a little bit of singles, so I had it on me.
Oh, that's right. I needed 3 singles, and that was the fantasy money for the league. And then I said, okay, I owe you 50. I'll give you 55. And then we tried figuring it out on Saturday, and now I missed again. And so now I got to 60. Good. Now we're even.
We're even. Yep.
Live, we're even. All right. Bascio Gelato Stravinsky. Check them out. You can get them anywhere. If you're going up into the Michigan area, check out Cana Vista. They're good. There's a lot of good places out there. High profile. Oh, and then how could I forget? Oh, no, we can't do that anymore. My fault. They're no longer. It's all Michigan and Fire from this point out. So,
yep.
God bless America. We're out of here. And have a great fantasy football week, guys. And good luck. And we'll be talking this week, Tuesday, about waiver wire pickups and everything that you need to know about week 1. All right, bye.